Olá, bom dia. Mais uma vez, obrigada pela sua audiência aqui na Rede TV, TV Brasília, aqui comigo, Fabiana Ceyhan, no quadro O Mundo em Foco. Espero encontrar todos vocês com saúde e que essa semana seja maravilhosa para todos nós. Hoje eu vou falar com uma pessoa que está do outro lado do mundo. É uma mulher que recebeu vários prêmios. Eu vou ler agora a biografia dela aqui para vocês, porque ela é realmente uma pessoa espetacular e de muito sucesso no mundo inteiro. O nome dela é Shinta Kamdani e ela está na Indonésia. A senhora Shinta Kamdani, que está aqui comigo agora, está falando comigo lá da Indonésia, ela é proprietária do grupo Sintesa, que é um grupo que atua com 16 subsidiárias nas áreas de imóveis, energia, produtos de consumo e vários outros setores na Indonésia. Ela também é vice-presidente da Câmara de Comércio e Indústria da Indonésia. Ela foi também escolhida pelas Nações Unidas como uma dos 30 líderes globais de investidores em desenvolvimento sustentável. Recebeu da revista Forbes o prêmio por estar entre as 50 mulheres mais poderosas da Ásia. Ela também já foi condecorada pelo rei Carl XVI da Suécia e recebeu também uma condecoração de Ordem de Leopoldo da Bélgica. Então, como vocês podem ver, é uma pessoa muito influente a nível mundial e temos o orgulho de falar com ela hoje aqui no programa. Senhora Shinta, é um prazer ter a senhora aqui no programa. A senhora é muito bem-vinda. É uma honra tê-la aqui, uma figura tão importante a nível mundial, estar aqui conosco aqui agora em Brasília.
Thank you, Fabiana, for the introduction and for inviting me to your program. It is a wonderful opportunity for Indonesian business to be directly in touch with Brazilian people through your program.
E a minha primeira pergunta para a senhora é a seguinte. No ano passado, eu entrevistei o embaixador da Indonésia aqui no Brasil, o senhor Edi Yusuf. E durante essa entrevista, ele deixou bem claro que uma das prioridades da cooperação diplomática entre Brasil e Indonésia é a agenda de negócios. O que vocês aí da Indonésia acham dessa agenda e dessa cooperação com o Brasil?
Indonesian business very much anticipates and supports Indonesian diplomatic agenda to enhance economic cooperation with Brazil. Brazil and Indonesia have a lot in common in terms of economic potentials. We both are developing countries with population over 200 million people. We have abundant economic resources. We are both economic giants in our respective regions with GDP well beyond $1 trillion and global trade volume more than $300 billion per annum. Yet the total trade between Brazil and Indonesia is only about $3.4 billion per annum for the past 10 years. So that's kind of the average. Or only about 1% of both Indonesia and Brazil annual global trade volume. In terms of business presence, Kadin Indonesia, the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, recorded that there is Indonesia business investment in Brazil, plantation sector. However, Indonesian hardly found Brazilian business presence in Indonesia. Indonesia business certainly would like to have more economic interaction and business cooperation with Brazilian business, as Brazil have been our largest trading partner in Latin America. We really want to invest Brazilian business to improve their business presence in Indonesia, especially when Indonesia has created the biggest economic policy overhaul in our history, simply to invite more foreign businesses to enter Indonesian market.
Essa informação é muito interessante, mas o que a senhora quer dizer com a revisão da política econômica e como os brasileiros poderiam se beneficiar disto?
Indonesia has always strived to significantly improve our ease of doing business and investment climate. It is crucial for Indonesian economy because we have a huge demographic bonus and a young population. Let's say about half of our population is of working age. Even before the pandemic, we estimated that we need to create about 2 million jobs per annum just to ensure that our unemployment rate is in check. Pandemic, of course, create more burden to job creation. Last year, we did an economic policy overhaul in the form of what we call the Omnibus Law on job creation. The Omnibus Law is essentially a law that amends more than 43,000 regulations, including 39 existing laws that regulates business and investment climate in Indonesia, from business licensing and utilization, facilitation for SMEs, manpower, R&D, special economic zone, investment in national strategic development projects, you name it. About 86.5% of Omnibus Law is dedicated to improving ease of doing business, primarily to lower down the cost of starting a business, cutting the red tapes and bureaucratic nitty-gritty in investment. The rest are regulatory amendments in facilitating, encouraging, and incentivizing industrialization in Indonesia. Thanks to the Omnibus Law, foreign business is welcome and facilitated to have higher involvement in Indonesian economy. One of the regulations that may pique Brazilian business interest is the elimination of negative lists on investment, which lists down type of business in which foreign business are highly regulated to be involved in. The Omnibus Law practically throw the list away. Indonesia now opens investment access to foreign business with more than 17,000 type of businesses. On the contrary, we now also have a long list of business sector in which investment is incentivized and specifically given fiscal and non-fiscal facilitation. We call it the priority list of investment. We also create a centralized electronic-based investment registration process called the online single submission. So you can manage your investment registration process in Indonesia from anywhere in the world. I really encourage Brazilian businesses to have a look at what the Omnibus can offer to you and utilize it to improve your business presence in Indonesia.
É muito bom saber, senhora Shinta, que a Indonésia incentiva e convida as empresas brasileiras a se envolverem no país através da lei Omnibus. E eu gostaria também que a senhora falasse um pouco sobre quais os negócios que a senhora sugere que as empresas brasileiras façam no Brasil. Qual a área de negócios mais sugerida por vocês?
Well, there are plenty of business areas that Brazilian business can be involved in. As the biggest population and the biggest economy in the Southeast Asia, Indonesia needs a lot of goods and services that you can supply us. We are also an archipelago country with more than 17,000 islands with very diverse culture and economic resources. So business potential here are enormous. However, I would encourage Brazilian business to be involved in business sector in which they have a strong competitive advantage, such as agriculture and agribusiness. Let's start from there. Indonesia happens to have a huge export-oriented and highly competitive food and beverage industry, but most of our F&B input productions are imported. The Omnibus Law also gives incentive and investment facilitation packages for import substitution investment or investment in business area which may contribute in decreasing our import dependency in production inputs, including the agriculture sector. I believe this area of investment will be very attractive for business, for Brazilian agribusiness players, while Indonesia business will benefit from the nearest source of input production supply. Our government will be happy when this collaboration results in lowering import dependency in the years to come. Brazilian business will also be able to tap into our regional market potential since Indonesia have a very extensive and deep economic integration in the region, mainly through our comprehensive FTAs with ASEAN countries and other countries in the region. Even in the pandemic, Indonesia has robust growth in sectoral business sectors, primarily in the information technology and healthcare. Indonesia is the biggest internet and mobile user in Southeast Asia, and according to a report from Google and Temasek, last October, Indonesia's digital economy will grow to about $124 billion in 2025. Imagine the size. Moreover, we are also in short supply of technological infrastructure. This certainly means a lot of opportunities, and Brazilians are very welcome to invest in it. On healthcare, we have a small community of business working in chemical, pharmaceutical, and healthcare devices. When the demand on Indonesian healthcare products are very high, especially during this pandemic, not only from domestic market, but also from global market.
Muito obrigada pela resposta. E, na opinião da senhora, quais seriam os negócios que podem ser materializados no futuro próximo, já que nós estamos com limitações em relação à pandemia da Covid-19?
Thank you for the question. There are a lot of ways for us to interact despite the pandemic, especially with increased adoption of technology these days. For example, a lot of government services for business purposes in Indonesia are made online, so physical presence is not much of a necessity. Last year, Indonesia hosted the Trade Expo Indonesia, our annual and biggest trade expo, which displays prominent export products from Indonesia. I believe that we are going to have one as well this year too. Brazilian businesses can certainly join and participate since they are held virtually and open to all interested business in the world. Since last year, we also have Indonesia Latin America Business Forum, along with the Trade Expo. I hope more Brazilian businesses can join the forum this year so we can find how we can cooperate very soon. Although Indonesia is basically still restricting cross-border movement of people due to the pandemic, it does not mean that you have to hold up all your business plans in Indonesia. We have the OSS for investment registration. Our Jakarta-based investment consultation services can interact with you through email and phone calls, and I'm sure our embassy will be happy to help you put in explaining also our business climate or to connect you to our Jakarta-based office. Plus, Indonesia allows business travel to a certain degree. Since September 2020, Indonesia allows all foreign workers who have active working permit to travel back to Indonesia. So most foreign business activities can be run after our first local lockdown. Our National Investment Coordinating Board, PKPM, can also facilitate potential foreign investors to travel to Indonesia if you need to. Our government is practically doing everything they could to cope the pandemic, including demanding mobility requirements, permit for people who wants to travel on holidays. And our vaccine rollout are increasing day by day. At the current rate, we have vaccinated approximately 500,000 people per day. This will gradually increase by the end of June, so that we will have we'll be able to vaccinate 1 million people per day until the end of the year. Businesses in Indonesia, both local and foreign, are also supported to have independent vaccination program, which we call Vaksinasi Gotong Royong, co-organized by our chamber. This means that the normalization of our economic activities will happen faster.
Esta entrevista foi dividida em 2 partes e no próximo sábado exibiremos a segunda parte. Conto com a sua audiência mais uma vez. Muito obrigada.